Mama's cocktail hour, so pour it up. Pour it up.
What's up, guys? It's your girl, Zeta Lisa. Welcome to Mama's Cocktail Hour. Come on in. Get your cannabis, get your vino, get your agua, whatever your poison is, and get your butt in here. There has been way too much Diddy shit to keep up with, okay? But let's talk about Jane Doe, okay? Jane Doe is the new witness that is testifying against Diddy in the federal trial. And she is knocking the tops off of this whole investigation. And let me tell you why, guys. She is credible. She is honest, and she is keeping it real. She is telling when she popped a pill. She is letting you know if she was, like, what she was doing to this person, how he smelled. She's very descriptive. She remembers a lot of things. She's very vocal. And like I said, she is credible. And this witness is going to be the witness that takes Diddy down. Y'all thought it was Cassie? It is not Cassie. Y'all could call Cassie all the HOEs in the world because that's what a lot of you misogynistic men are doing. But she is still a victim. She didn't want to do freak-offs. And if she said she was going to do them, the minute that she said she didn't want to do them, she didn't have to do them. And we are seeing this play out with Jane Doe. But Jane Doe was so smart because she kept everything on text message, okay? So there's lots of conversations between her and Diddy where she's telling Diddy, I don't want to do this. I feel disgusting. I want to be with you. I don't want to have the hotel nights. She calls them hotel nights, guys. We know them as freak-offs, but she calls them hotel nights. Okay, so he would make her get all dolled up, hair done, nails done, everything did for you to only be dropping it hot with some dude that you do not know. Okay, and shout out to Storm Monroe. I saw Storm talking about this. Apparently, Storm knows some of the ex-workers, and he was like making reference to like how big their stuff was, and it was like she was getting UTIs. She was having a lot of the stuff that Cassie said, like she was experiencing the same thing because, guys, they were legit ex-workers. Like, yes, he was paying them a fee for their services. We heard in the Cassie lawsuit that after freak-offs or physical abuse that he would go out and spend $200,000, $300,000 on Cassie, right? He was doing this for this Jane Doe, but he was like he was shorting her. He was giving, guys, listen to this, okay? This came out in the testimony today. I thought that this shit was crazy. He was paying the freak-off workers. Diddy ain't shit. I'm telling you, Diddy ain't shit, and this is why we have to continue to keep our foot on his neck and talk about this behavior. I love how in her testimony and in her text messages, she realized that he was gaslighting her, okay? She was sending him text messages saying, I don't want to do this anymore. And, you know, I don't want to have these freak-offs with you. And he was like, well, you like it or something like that. And she's like, what? I'm telling you, don't gaslight me. I'm telling you, I don't want to do it. And you're forcing me to do it. And you're beating me into submission. And there was a time, guys, where he wasn't physically abusing her. He was like coercing her, right? So he would be like, yeah, we're not going to, she'll be texting him. Oh, I want to see you. Let's go on. He's like, yeah, don't worry, baby. Yeah, we're going to go on a yacht. We're going to go everywhere. We're going to be chilling. But we're going to go to this hotel room first. And then she's like, but I don't want to do the freak-offs, right? And Diddy's like, no, we're not going to do the freak-offs. You know, we're just going to chill. What you want to have it a movie night? All right, I'm going to have it a movie night for you. And she gets there. She's dolled up. She put on her best of her best because she thought she was going to spend some time with his brother. And instead, he's like, yo, I got a surprise for you. And the freak-off guy is in the corner. What? Like, and she's like obligated to do so. And I know a lot of you guys are going to argue, well, why didn't she just leave? Why didn't she just did that? started to progress, right? It started to progress. So she thought, oh, well, you know what? He's paying my rent. He's doing all these things for me. So I have to do this. And then as the relationship progressed and he got more and more aggressive, she continued to speak up for herself. That's something that I did. I feel like Jane Doe was I don't want to say better than, but I feel like she's very vocal about the things that she didn't want. This was a grown-ass woman. I can't tell you which grown-ass woman, but this woman is a grown-ass woman, okay? She's like 37 or something like that. So she was a millennial for sure. So she was picking up on game. She was picking up on game. She saw him tricking with Young Miami, and she was like, wait, so I'm doing this and she's getting cars, because Young Miami was flossing the cars at that moment. Do y'all remember when Young Miami said she was getting $250,000 as an allowance from Diddy? She was definitely doing freakoffs. Like, there's no way his cheap ass was giving Young Miami $250 for no freakoffs. I don't believe that. I don't. And if he does, that was highly inflated just for her to look good and have her whole brand. But this woman, Jane Doe, was receiving $10,000 a month, okay? As like her, whatever, he would take care of where she lived. And he was giving the freak off workers 10 to 12K per night. Per night. And they're the ones that are letting off. This is crazy. Guys, this is crazy. Like, he was giving them $12,000. She knows. The woman knows. You want to know why? Because she was giving them the money. The man was forcing her, here, give them 10 to 12,000. What? And she's getting $10,000 a month, and they're getting $10 to $12,000 a session, 10 to 12K a session. I'm telling you, Diddy ain't shit. He's a cheap ass motherfucker. He really is. It's about control, guys. For me, it's about control. But I will argue this point, Diddy is gay. He is gay. People that say, and people are kind of like tiptoeing around this issue, even though Jane Doe said in her testimony that she was the first one to say in her testimony that he was actually doing the deed with one of the ex-workers. So the guy was doing her, and then he was doing the guy. She was the first one to talk about Diddy being homosexual, which I thought was interesting. Her testimony is legit. We're going to get into some of the, shout out to the Neighborhood Talk, because they do a really good breakdown of the Diddy trial, because sometimes, we know TMZ, they kind of are like Team Diddy. So it's kind of swayed when the defense is winning, versus like the Neighborhood Talk. They just kind of give you the facts. So I'm going to read their excerpt here. That was amazing. So let's go into it together, because it'll just give you a little synopsis of what happened today at court. Okay, it says Jane Doe testifies that her and Diddy physically fought in 2024. That is another interesting fact that I just want to bring that up really quickly, is that they have been together since 2021. So people are alleging that when he basically got detained at his hotel, that the reason why he was detained is because they had his phone taps and they knew that he was setting up a freak off. So that's why they came and got him, because he was still freaking off, allegedly, guys, after he knew he was being investigated and they raided his house for trafficking. Okay, Diddy is a sexual deviant who is a sex addict. Okay, so let me get back to it. So it's titled, "Oh My God, Jane Doe testifies that her and Diddy physically fought in 2004 after she called him a pedo, okay, for dating a woman 25 plus years younger than him." claims she was forced to do a freak off immediately after the alleged abuse. So let's talk about it. Jane Doe is on day 3 of her testimony in the Diddy trial. So far, she has exposed how Diddy allegedly made her participate in freak-offs, or what she likes to call hotel nights, even when she didn't want to, and how they would frequently take Uggs together during their sexual escapades. Now, Jane Doe has dropped a bomb claiming that she experienced abuse at the hands of Diddy in 2024. On June 18th, 2024, Jane claimed she and Diddy were chilling at her house when they started to argue about Diddy dating other women. Jane called him out for dating women 25 years younger than him, which led her to calling him a pedo. She testified that she slammed his head into the marble kitchen counter during her rant. This allegedly enraged Diddy, and he began kicking down multiple doors in Jane's house trying to get to her. He eventually kicked down the closet door where she was hiding, and two began to physically fight. Jane claims Diddy kicked her in the back of her thigh, bringing her down so he could start choking her. Jane eventually escaped and roamed the neighborhood for the next 2 hours. When she returned home, she thought Diddy had left, but he didn't. When he got hold of her in the backyard of the house, Diddy allegedly kicked and punched Jane as she curled in a ball, protecting herself from the blows. Diddy then allegedly dragged Jane back into the house where they started fighting again. She punched him in the head and he reportedly returned the hit. Jane claims she was left with 2 golf ball sized bruises on her forehead. After the chaos, the two seemingly calmed down, and Diddy allegedly forced her to take X so she could participate in a freak off with another man. Diddy allegedly asked her, "Is this coercion?" before making her take the ecstasy. Then the ex-worker came, and Jane and the man had sex while Diddy watched. "I had to perform oral sex on Anton, and it just felt like forever," she said. "Sean is watching. I felt disgusted. I felt terrible." Woo! So that was a lot of what was happening in the courtroom today. I think we got a sneak peek into the fact that she was actually still possibly having sexcapades with Diddy, even after his house was raided, even after everything. That they're even alleging, guys, that she was probably there or was like in a freak off when he was in New York picked up. I don't know, but I will tell you guys, from what I've been listening to the court transcripts every morning. So not only am I just listening, but I'm also finding good articles that can encompass everything, because this shit is vast. Like, it's so much. But one thing that I do say about Jane Doe is that she is very honest. When asked if she was taking pills, did she, why did she go back? Why didn't you say this? She's been very vocal about the whys. So I appreciate that with her. So let's continue to see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, do you feel like the prosecution has made their case already with Jane Doe based on everything that you heard? Let me know what you think in the comments. I think that's interesting, because I feel like Jane Doe has broken the case. Like, even if you can sit there and say, "Hey, Cassie won it, whatever. Jane Doe is telling you. I have text messages where I told him I don't want to do this, and he threatened to take away my housing allowance that he was giving me. He threatened to do so much things." Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's your girl Zeta Lisa. Don't forget to like and hit that notification button so you could be alerted when there's a new video. Don't forget to check out some of the other stuff on my channel. I do some great lives. I have some great videos. All right, guys. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.
Pull it up.